being at your best, being yourself fully, being fully self-expressed, being authentic, being genuine, whatever you call it. I think it's about finding out who we really are in life and then doing it on purpose. In case we don't know each other, my name is Katrina Horn and I'm a life coach. And I help my clients with exactly that, finding out who they are and how they can do it on purpose so that they get to be the fullest expression of who they can be. And if you're willing to play along, I've got an exercise for you today that will create awareness around your real desires. And so you can see, well, actually, what are the borrowed desires that I might have been buying into, and what are my true desires, and how can I get there? So let's get started. It's a huge commitment I'm asking of you, and you'll see why, because I'm going to ask you to commit to finding a day on your calendar where you are willing to get rid of all your commitments, have nothing scheduled, where you have zero responsibility. So having a completely white day with zero obligations, responsibilities, or duties. And that can for many people, that can be really, really hard because we like being busy, don't we? We like priding ourselves that we are indispensable. And if we don't do this, well, the world will fall apart. But that's not actually true, is it? So if you are somebody who's got responsibilities, you will have to delegate for a day. If you can reshuffle your schedule. You can do it at another time. But let's say you've got children, well, you really can't put them off to another day, but you will have to find somebody to take care of them. And whether this can be justified or not is a different discussion that I'm not having. This exercise is for you if you are willing to take a whole day off just for you. So let's dive in. On this day where there's nothing scheduled, it's completely opened. Nobody is expecting anything of you, least of all yourself. You have got just white space ahead of you. You wake up in the morning and you don't move till you feel an urge. So let me explain. Of course, you go to the bathroom if you feel an urge to go to the bathroom, but that is really the gist of it. But it's not just our bodily functions we're going to listen into. It's like our real desires, because so much of our lives is spent on autopilot, like doing things automatically. Like, let's just start with breakfast. I'm sure that you wake up like most of us, and then you have your usual cup of tea, cup of coffee, cup of whatever, or not, glass of something, and with your food and whatever. And you don't really feel into every day what it is you would really love. But let's make this an exception. Let's have you spend at least one day where you don't do anything till you feel an urge. So let's imagine you wake up in bed and you're just sort of lying there, not feeling any urge. Just lying there. Instead of thinking, oh, this is such a big waste of time, I should be getting on with blah, blah, blah. Resist it. Resist it. Wait till you really feel that urge, like, oh, I absolutely must. I so want it. Right? You just keep lying there, keep lying there, keep lying there. And this can be really hard because we're used to being productive, aren't we? We're used to getting on with things, getting things done and blah, blah, blah. There are even coaches that encourage us to get everything done and do and do and do. And of course, that's got its advantages because you do get things done. But let's not forget about ourselves like in the process, if you see what I mean. So if you really allowed yourself that complete white space and you didn't do anything actually till you felt like it, then what? And so I've got my clients tell me that, well, I was just lying there daydreaming. And I find that to be an excellent exercise because when you're daydreaming, you're actually getting a window into what you really desire. So that's precious information. And if you could not contradict yourself and start telling yourself why this can't be, well, then you could actually start taking action on it. But let's just feel into this desire state where you're not doing anything, you're not thinking anything, you're not being anything for anybody, you're just waiting for an urge to come along and then follow it. Let's say you feel an urge to have coffee. Well, you get out of bed and you have the most gorgeous cup of coffee you could have had for ages. Like, just feel into that. Wouldn't that feel good? Wouldn't that feel so, so delicious? Because maybe you'd be tasting the coffee in a sort of different way. Maybe all your senses would come alive because you've been waiting for the urge, like you've been sort of building up to it, and now you're having it. And so you keep having that cup of coffee till you feel an urge for something else. Are you getting the sort of the idea of it? Waiting for an urge all the time. So here's a caveat, like there are two possibilities for urges, because we do a lot of things out of a desire to cope. So let's say you have got a foible for chocolate cake and you get an urge to eat a whole lot of chocolate cake. You could say, well, Katrina, I was following my urges. So the way we differentiate between a coping mechanism and a desire is that if we keep doing the coping mechanism, like eating the chocolate cake in my example, if you keep doing that for days or years or decades, where will it take you? And then ask yourself, is this somewhere I want to be or not? If you don't want to be where it takes you in time, whether it be a week, a month, a year, or years, well, then that's a coping mechanism and it camouflages the real need below it. So that's an interesting awareness to have, and I will talk about it later. The other idea, the desire urge, is if you take your desire and you follow it, you keep following it for days, for months, for years, for decades, where will it take you, and is that a place you want to be? If the answer is yes, well, then that's a true desire. Make sense? So coping mechanism takes you to a place you don't want to be. Desire takes you to a place where you do want to be. So that's how you distinguish them. Let's go back to the coping mechanism. I said it was camouflaging something. So what is the deeper desire under it? What is this coping mechanism protecting you from? And in my example, the chocolate cake, I think it's like overeating is often about feelings, like what is the feeling that you can't quite get from what you're doing right now, and that chocolate cake will help you feel. So what is the underlying feeling that you're not really taking care of for yourself? What is it? Feel into that and answer yourself that question. Excellent opportunity. So a coping mechanism can be anything. Distraction is often to protect ourselves from being still, so that we create that all that awareness around what we want to change in life, because we tell ourselves, oh, I couldn't change this. It's not possible. I can't have this. I can't be that. I can't do that. So keeping busy, being distracted keeps us away from that. So it's protecting us from that awareness. So in either case, whether you go down the desire road or you're going down the coping mechanism road, you will create awareness. Do you see? And if we keep with the desire, if you keep feeling into your desires and then taking action on it, if you feel that urge, oh, I want to go out in nature, I want to go for a long walk, and you go out for a long walk, and then you want to take out your paints and you want to start painting the landscape, and just feel into it. If you could just do whatever you felt an urge to do, and that then know that, oh, actually, I've got these urges, and what if I took action on them regularly? What if they became part of my life? Where would that take me? And I find that so good to keep in mind. Whenever we do something, like, we can always ask ourselves, is this taking me towards whom I want to be, or is it taking me away from the person I want to be? And I think, like, personality isn't permanent. So when we talk about being genuine, it's about finding my way of being something. So I can have the idea that I want to be successful. So I don't have to borrow other people's ideas of what it looks like to be successful. I can go inside, follow my desires, and find out, oh, I think I want to be a painter. I mean, that's not my case, but, like, let's say it's yours. Oh, actually, I've got an urge to paint. I've got an urge to be creative. Oh, where does that take me? What is my expression of that? So I'm not comparing myself to a famous painter. I'm just looking into, oh, for me, what would that look like? Is it something I really want? So this exercise will create awareness, however, whatever comes up, if you see what I mean. At the end of this whole day that you spent just in tune with your desires, with your urges, make a little inventory, like, what did you do during the day? Would you like more of it, or would you like less of it? Really. Sit with it for a while, and you can journal about this, because the advantage of writing things down is that we are focused, because we can't write one thing while we're thinking another thing. So it just helps us really focus. So if you were spending time at the end of the day with the activities or the states you've been in, even if it was just lying around in bed daydreaming, like, really, where did that take you? And did it take you to somewhere where you want to be? Isn't that a gorgeous question? If I follow really my urges, my desires, would they actually take me to where I want to be? Is that important to me? Why is it important to me? Would be the next question. But this exercise really opens up to so much, I think, that we can learn from, that we can just create that initial awareness that we really need to spark that spark plug to take us into our next step. Let's say you lay in bed and you read all day, and then you got the idea, well, actually, I want to write a book. I don't just want to read it, I want to write it. Well, at the end of the day, with that awareness, well, what do you want to do about it? Now, is there anything you want to do, any action you want to take? What can you do? What do you want to do? And here, of course, you can come in with all those reasons why you can't, right? And that's sort of part of being human. We will always come up with why we can't. But if we just sort of flip that around and say, well, what if I could? What would my next step be? And the next step could be as simple as scheduling time off on your calendar. Just saying, oh, this chunk of time, I will spend that writing my book. And when you get to the moment where you wanted to sit down and write your book, well, maybe nothing is coming up. But I think if you could commit to just be with it, I use that with myself. When I don't know how to do something, I'll just be with it for a while and see what comes up. Always a solution comes up. Always my next step comes up, right? And if you can just keep taking your desires step by step without overcomplicating it, without overthinking it, without wanting to see the end result in sight before you take any action, if you can just decide on what's my next step? How can I take it one step closer? How can I do that? And how can I do it today? That is always a gorgeous question to ask ourselves. So really, my invitation to you is to spend a whole day with you, either to diagnose your coping mechanisms or to follow some of your desires. If you find out that you are sort of using a lot of coping mechanism, take them apart. Find out what needs they are covering, because there is a need there that is not being answered. If the need was being answered, you wouldn't need to have that coping mechanism in place, right? You'd be able to ditch it right here, right now. So what is it covering? And then, if you want to go even deeper, you can ask yourself whether it's a desire or the revelation of a coping mechanism and a deeper desire. You can ask yourself, what can I do today to feel a little bit better about it, or to get a little bit closer to it? Just a tiny bit. And I think we talk a lot about doing and taking action, but really the most profound action you can take is the changes you make on the inside. If you can decide to make a change on the inside and then stick with it, notice what happens in your real life, right? I think all change starts on the inside. So what can you commit to today? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know if this sparked any ideas for you on what your next step could be. Like, don't get lost in, I have to figure all this out. Just decide on a next step, and then decide when to take that next step, and then do it, really. So I hope this exercise was useful to you. I would love to know, and I would really love to know what steps you're contemplating taking. I love talking to you. Let's get in touch. Why don't you sign up for my newsletter? Why don't we meet up? Why don't we talk? Let me know how I can help you. Looking forward to speaking. Bye for now.